Fasten your seatbelts, hold on tight. We're in for one crazy ride tonight on the Josh Nolan Full Throttle Racing Show. #1 on Facebook.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts, hold on tight. You're in for one incredibly awesome ride on the Josh Nolan Full Throttle Racing Show, #1 on YouTube. I'd like to welcome to tonight's show, Mr. Dustin Phillips. Welcome to the show, Dustin.
Great to be here.
So, Dustin, how did your racing career begin? Let's kick it off this way.
All right, so I was playing football, and then our neighbor who used to work with like lasers in Livermore would drive by this racetrack every day, this little quarter midget track. And one day he knew that I was into riding dirt bikes and quads and anything with a motor. And he told us, he was like, yeah, they're going to have a ride and drive, which is where you pay like, I think it's like $10 to get 10 laps or $20, 20 laps, something like that. And he told my dad about it. So we went on down there and did a couple sessions and I was instantly hooked.
Okay, instantly hooked. So what was it like to climb on a race car for the first time?
Oh shoot. I wasn't really nervous, back when I was little, I wasn't really scared of anything. So I don't know, it's super fun. Yeah, I don't know. It was a ton of fun. I was 10 at the time, or no, I was like 5 at the time. So I was just a little kid out there feeling like I was going a million miles an hour.
Wow. So Dustin, you weren't scared at all to get behind the wheel?
I was just, like I said, just a little kid, wasn't really scared of anything at the time. I might have been, it's been a while. I don't really necessarily remember, but yeah, I'm sure I was obviously a little nervous, who isn't a little nervous to this day. I still get a little nervous every time I strap in. I don't know. It's just something that's always stuck with me.
Okay. So Dustin, compared to where you started at now, okay, what classes of quarter midgets did you advance through to get to where you're at now?
So I started in novice, then I went to junior Honda, it was a little bit of senior Honda, and then I got out of quarter midgets, went into outlaw carts. I did a little dive with my feet in that, and then got back in quarter midgets, and then was running heavy Honda, then got into a heavy World Formula, then got into a heavy 160, and then I ran World Formula and 160 back to back for the rest of my quarter midgets.
Okay. So did you have a lot of success driving all those different types of race cars?
Oh, I think I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 track championships and 2 national championships, 5 or 6 track championships. I'm not really sure.
Very cool. Very cool. Congratulations to you with that. So Dustin, now where are you racing at now? What are you racing now?
Micros. We've been running micros for a little over a year now. Nevada, Idaho, California. We actually just went into California, struggled a lot, mechanical issues, Lemoore, also mechanical issues. We were actually pretty good at Lemoore, I like the 15 or 16 cars that showed up. Motor was misfiring. We still went like 9th quick in qualifying, had a good heat race. And then I think the car went around for the feature or something, didn't make it out. Delta was that was terrible. Hot laps, lost a right front arm. Went out for qualifying, chain broke, put a hole in the motor. Got that fixed up for the heat race, went 7th to 7th. The car just had 0 drive. We didn't know what it was. Found out it was actually our shocks being really tore up and actually just junk. So, and then we're going to go up for a B main. And as soon as I pulled up, because I was rolling through the pits at Delta, which are very crammed, this person was in the way. And I read my car to tell them, you need to move. I'm trying to get to the pits. And I guess their quad didn't start something, so they had to push it up. By the time I got up to the gate, they were shutting the gate and they wouldn't let me get out on the track. So I missed my B main.
Wow. Not good. Not good. So yeah. Dustin, who do you have for sponsors to help you out with your racing team?
Riley's Auto Parts, always. My parents, they're a huge help. They gave just about everything you possibly can give to keep me in a race car. Who else? Shimmick with my dad's company helps me out a little bit, help letting me bring my car to their shop whenever I'm down in California, stay in there, work on it, use their tools, use their my dad, I can actually use their equipment and like help with like working on my car and stuff. But other than that, I go out and I work for money to get my race car on the track every weekend.
Very cool. Very cool. So, Dustin, are you guys still looking for sponsors for your micro sprint team?
I mean, who isn't? Everybody's looking for sponsors. Racing's expensive. Anything really helps.
So if there's anybody out here watching this racing show with me and Dustin Phillips, reach out to Dustin Phillips or his family, and you could possibly help out with their sponsorship of their racing team as Dustin gets further into his racing career. So Dustin, who is on your crew for your racing team?
I mean, I'm 15. I do just about all of it. Dad's the checkbook man. I wash the car, I load the car, I work on the car, I wrench on the car, I set up the car. I tear the car apart when it needs to be torn apart. I put it back together. In California, I had my brothers come down, help crew a little bit. Lamore, my uncle Kevin, he came out and he helped. But other than that, I do just about all of it.
Wow, that's pretty impressive, Dustin. Very impressive. So Dustin, who are some of your friends at the racetrack?
Oh shoot. In California, I got Tim Vaught, Brandon Riviera, Colin Kirby, Caden Gatelli. We got Thomas. I was actually just at his race shop. Who else? I got a lot of people. Zach Williams, Riley Phillips. Gosh, dude, I too many to count.
Okay, so when it comes to working on your race car, going back to that, Dustin, did your dad help teach you how to work on your race car, or?
I mean, we were both kind of new to it, when we got into it. I learned with him as he learned. After quarter midgets, I was doing a lot of that in quarter midgets, but once I got into micros, my dad was like, all right, I think you know enough to go out there and do it on your own. Once I turned 16, I should be able to haul my race car to the track every weekend, pay for it all by myself, and working on it by myself every weekend, maybe with a couple buddies to come help me wrench or park next to someone I know. But no, me and my dad both learned. He taught me a lot in everything, just life in general. So yeah, I'd say my dad really taught me everything I know.
Okay, very cool, Dustin. Very cool. So Dustin, you said you had some problems this last week with your micro sprint or when you were racing out in California. Have you had a lot of problems this year with your micro sprint at all? Like, what's the worst thing you've had happen to you as a race car driver?
Oh, fire. I hate fire. I hated being on fire. Hated looking down at my legs and then being on fire. It's probably my biggest fear. Rolling to the pits, faulty fuel regulator bursted the fuel outside of the out the carb seals, and I think it spit a flame out the pipe and it lit the whole car on fire. That's about it. I've never had anything worse than that. Hopefully never worse than that. I've never flipped a micro. Knock on wood. Yeah, just fire really. But no, my car's been digging really good this year. We're at 11 feature wins out of 16, 17 races, which I think is really good right now. A couple non-wing, couple wing. So yeah, no, we're digging pretty good this year.
Okay, so Dustin, you talked about something that you guys are I've seen on Facebook. You're talking about running the Tulsa Shootout next year. Have you got something already lined up for that, or something you want to make an announcement about?
Actually, this year we're gonna be heading up there Christmas Day. We're leaving. I'm gonna run in my own car, my new car. Gonna be my first time there. I'm really excited. Gonna be running stock wing and stock non-wing.
Okay, so is that kind of your big announcement then, that you're going to the Tulsa Shootout?
I'd say the new car is the biggest announcement, because I know everybody knows I'm getting a new car, but they don't know exactly what it is, how nice it is, whose old car it was. I think you do. I think I told you about it. But yeah, I think that's probably the big announcement.
Okay, so what is your 5-year plan with the racing now, Dustin? What's that 5-year plan going to be like for you with the racing?
Want to stay in a micro, get my seat time in a micro, hopefully get a couple big wins under my belt. I really want to do good at the shootout in a couple years. This year is just gonna be a learning experience. But yeah, I'd say stay in micros for 3 more years, and if I get a sprint car ride opportunity, I'm gonna get one. But if not, I'm just gonna stay in micros and do my thing.
So do you kind of see yourself like 5-10 years down the line possibly running an outlaw sprint car or a 360 sprint car? Is that kind of something you're kind of playing around with?
Yeah, right now where we are financially, I think it's a 410 would be pretty gnarly, I don't think that'd be able to come out of my old man's wallet. You know, he tries his best for everything he can give me. And I think 360, I could see a 360 here pretty soon. I'm not going to say anything, you know, but yeah, I think in the next 10 years, I'll be in a sprint car for sure.
Okay, one thing I want you to keep on your radar, Dustin, if you're going to run 360s, I may get to see you race sometime because we have a 360 World Sprint Car Nationals out here. And we also have a 410 Sprint Car Nationals at Jackson Motorplex, nevertheless.
Yep.
Yeah. So, Dustin, do you have any words that you'd like to say to the kids out there to help get them in a race car?
Just go to your local racetrack, you know, ask a ton of questions. You know, the more questions you ask, the more you're going to learn. It's just going to set you up better. Start at a smaller level. You know, everybody's all like, yeah, you know, those cars are cool, I want to race those, but you always got to start low and learn as you go up in the ranks. Take your time. You got to be patient. And yeah, make friends. Just like I said, ask a ton of questions. You're gonna learn so much, and then eventually people are gonna be asking you questions, and then it passes on. So yeah, just ask questions, take your time, be patient. That's about all I got to say.
So let's talk about your race car number. What's the story behind your race car number?
You know, I was 9 years old when I got in a dirt car, and that's the parents were like, you know, we're getting a dirt car, have to put a number on it. What do you want to do? And I was like, heck, let's put 9 on it, and it's stuck ever since.
Okay, alrighty. So who is your racing hero, Dustin? Who is that one race car driver you look up to and say, man, I want to be just like that?
Dang, I'd have to think. I'd say Michael Buddy Kofoid. You know, he's not much older than me, but that kid is just God. He's something special. You know,
Yeah.
No one's got what he has. You know, being 13 in a 360 sprint car when he was 13. I think that's just crazy.
Yeah, very crazy. So Dustin, when it comes to the racetrack and you're getting ready to get in your car, what's one thing that you do to help settle your nerves down?
So like when I'm getting ready to get in the car, either I'll listen to music, which normally I listen to hype up music, get me going, you know, get the adrenaline pumping. But if I'm trying to calm myself down, you know, like if it's calm, slick, patient racetrack, you know, I'll just sit there and I'll just like think before I'm like, all right, I got to do this, got to do that. Normally I stay pretty calm in a race car. Just that's how I've always been. That's what makes me such a smooth driver. But yeah, normally the calmness comes naturally, but when I need to hype myself up, I'll normally listen to some music. I hang out with people that really hype me up, I guess.
So who is your favorite person to listen to music wise when it comes to hyping yourself up?
Oh, this is gonna be bad. I'd say Shoreline Mafia. I don't know, or even Kevin Gates. Anybody with a beat that's really gonna like, I don't know, just a beat that's really catchy, that's gonna stay in my head while I race. And I don't know, just anything that'll really pump me up. You know, it could be a Taylor Swift song that just pumps me up, gets my adrenaline rushing, and I listen to it.
Okay. So what's your favorite thing to eat at the racetrack, Dustin, when you go to the racetrack and you're going to that concession stand and you're like, man.
Delta Speedway's vanilla ice cream or their root beer floats. There's nothing like Delta Speedway's root beer floats. Plaza Park, I'd have to say their corn dogs, something special about Plaza's corn dogs. And then Lemore's iced coffee is really good. But you know, I don't really eat at the track. You know, my mom's seems like my professional chef, you know, when it comes to racing. But yeah, no, normally I just eat what my mom makes.
Okay. So Dustin, what do you like to do when you're not racing? What's something you like to do when you're not racing?
You know, lately I used to be a big gamer, you know. I used to play video games with my friends. Ever since I moved, you know, I stopped the gaming, started to kind of work myself a little bit, working out, listening to music, you know, hanging out with friends, being more social, working in general. I don't really know. Nothing much, you know, I'm just calm. Yeah, just go with the flow.
So one of the other questions I have for you, Dustin, I got you on here, and there's been talk lately when it comes to race car drivers and stuff like that. Is it really hard to find tires for your race car now? Because I know there's been talk lately, the last couple of days, that Hoosiers, there's kind of a shortage of Hoosier race tires.
Yeah, big time, you know. The price is going to be going up. Everybody's using them, especially now, you know, it's going to sound bad. A lot of tracks, you know, lately have been kind of bad. You know, the humidity's been really bad, really drying out these racetracks. And I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be hard to find tires, but there's multiple other brands out there. We got American Racer. All these other brands could maybe step up and make some dirt tires that don't make dirt tires. I'm
Yeah.
sure everybody try them out to save some money. It's getting really expensive.
Oh yeah, I can about imagine that. It's even expensive out here for IMCA racing. It's gotten crazy. Um, so Dustin, what types of racing do you watch on TV when you're not racing?
Anything with an engine, lawnmowers racing inside of a building. Those are actually really fun to watch. Midgets, sprint cars, late models, micros when I'm not racing, outlaw carts. Actually, I just watched the showcase not too long ago. Yeah, like I said, anything. I don't really watch NASCAR. I'm not a big stock car guy unless it's like an IMCA stock car or yeah, you know what I'm saying. I'm just not a big asphalt guy unless it's like
So
a really good like late model race.
when it comes to IMCA stock car, did you catch the Boone Super Nationals at all? Any of that race at all?
Sadly, I didn't. I didn't have time. I worked in school. I really wanted to find the time to watch that. I really wanted to watch that one, but I just couldn't.
Okay. So Dustin, I want to thank you again for being on the racing show with me tonight and talking to us about your racing career. One of the reasons why I asked you about the Boone Super Nationals is because one of our guests, you probably recognize him for being on the show a while back, Nolan Murdy pulled off an amazing feat. He won the Boone Super Nationals as a 17-year-old kid in a IMCA dirt stock car.
That is crazy.
Plus, on top of that, winning the Bristol Dirt Nationals this year. So that kid's just got a lot going on.
Oh yeah, on fire.
Yes, on fire is right. So Dustin, like I said, I want to thank you again for being on the racing show with me tonight, talking to us about your racing career. At the end of your season, I would love to have you on here again, talking to us about how the rest of your racing season went. I'd love to get your mom on here. I don't know when that's going to be. She's always working.
Yeah, she's busy.
So with that being said, Dustin, I want to thank you again for being on the racing show with me tonight. And do you have anything else you want to say to the kids out there to get them to come to my racing show?
Follow your dreams. Josh is a really good guy. He'll really help you out in a good way. He's just a great all-around guy. He's here to help you, here to get you sponsors, here to really put your name out there, and really respectful. I say take the chance. You never know what could happen after being on a Josh Nolan racing show.
Thank you very much, Dustin. I will get a hold of you as soon as I get done going live here. I will call you in just a little bit, but I would like to thank you again, Dustin, for being on the racing show with me tonight. So Dustin, I'm going to let you go, and I will call you in just a little bit.
All righty.
So yes, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank Dustin Phillips and his racing team for being a part of the racing show with me tonight. Very, very awesome to have them a part of this. But also, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to give some updates as to what has been happening in the racing world lately. And it's just been crazy what's been happening. Craziness as far as wins and stuff like that. But ladies and gentlemen, yes, it's just kind of crazy. Like I said, Dustin's going to be running he made the announcement, he's going to be running the Tulsa Shootout next year, which is pretty cool. Congratulations to Dustin there. But like I said, it's kind of crazy who we've had on the racing show, how much success these drivers have had. And with all the wins and stuff like that, look at Nolan Murdy. He won the Boone Super Nationals. He won the Bristol Dirt Nationals. That's pretty awesome there. Zach Weigel's still on fire this year with his racing. He's won a lot of races. Yeah, definitely, ladies and gentlemen, definitely. Quite interesting to see where these kids are going with their racing careers. And then you've got Kyle Busch's son Brixton, who's winning some this year, which is pretty cool. Congratulations to Brixton Busch. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, definitely looking forward to having more drivers come on the racing show. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to close it out like this here. Before I let you go, ladies and gentlemen, hit like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. With that being said, have a good night. Catch you later on another episode of the Josh Nolan Full Throttle Racing Show, #1 on YouTube. Fasten your seatbelts, hold on tight. You're in for one crazy ride tonight on the Josh Nolan Full Throttle Racing Show, #1 on Facebook.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.